Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chef Michael D'Amico, and I am from Texas A&M University in Commerce, Texas. Our chef demonstration that we're going to do today is on the classic Tableside Caesar salad. I feel this is a recipe that most chefs and people should not be afraid to do. It's exciting. People like to see action at the table. It's simple enough, and so I'm going to demonstrate this for you. A brief history on the Caesar salad. Most people do not have an idea where Caesar salad actually came from. It's kind of interesting that the Caesar salad most people think is Italian in origin. It was invented by an Italian chef named Caesar Cardina. It was about 100 years ago, and Chef Cardina was an immigrant who was living in San Diego. He was a restaurateur, and he had restaurants in San Diego and Tijuana. And the reason that he had restaurants down in Mexico was because it was during Prohibition, and down there he could still serve alcohol, and he got all of the big name movie stars to come down, and the athletes, and everybody who wanted to leave the United States in order to still have a good time was heading down to Mexico. So it was 4th of July weekend, 4th of July itself, and the restaurant was super busy, and so they were running out of all sorts of food. And they had a couple regulars come in, and the chef was worried about them, so he ran around the kitchen and grabbed a bunch of random stuff and ran out to the table and did what he now calls Tableside Caesar. The only difference between that dressing then and the dressing now is the addition of the anchovies. The anchovies were added by his brother several years after that. So what we have for the recipe is going to be garlic to start. So it's a garlic and anchovy and lemon based dressing. So we have garlic, we have anchovies, we have Dijon mustard, Worcestershire, egg yolk, lemon juice, red wine vinegar, and then a blend of oil. We're going to do a salad or canola oil and a little olive oil. The lettuce is romaine. It was classically not chopped romaine. It was more of a romaine heart because, believe it or not, the salad was to be eaten with your fingers. It was more of like an appetizer style, less of a salad of what we eat now today. Finished with more of a crostini than a crouton as we see it. Some cracked pepper and some grated hard cheese. Now you can use any hard cheese that you truly like. Parmigiano Reggiano, Grana Padano, Pecorino Romano. I happen to bring my favorite, which is a provolone picante. It's buttery, it's nutty, it's different, and most people will not have experienced it. So I really like to have a little change with that. All right, so let's get started on the dressing. Okay, so we have our ingredients here. We have garlic. Now, traditionally, when it first started, it would have been a whole garlic clove. Now, a fork is what's traditionally used, not a whisk or a whip. The garlic cloves and the anchovy would have gone in whole, and it would have been a wooden bowl. And the reason for the wooden bowl is that the wooden bowl would actually absorb the flavors and hold it, so each time it would be used, it would get more and more flavorful. So garlic and anchovies are both full of oil, and so because of that, it would actually season the bowl. We're going to do this in our metal bowl. We have our garlic, so it's minced up. Step one is going to be to take your garlic, okay, and our anchovies, which I've already pasted. So I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, I don't like anchovies, but there's a super nice balance that you have with the garlic and the lemon and the anchovies. So to me, it's truly essential to have your anchovies in there. Yes, you can make it without, but it's not going to be a classic Caesar. Okay? We have our Dijon mustard. Okay? And with this, we are going to take and we're going to kind of paste this up. Okay? Now we're going to add Worcestershire and our egg yolk. Now, you want to do the best you can to keep the egg yolk from breaking, and the reason being is if your egg yolk breaks, believe it or not, you're going to lose 25 to 30% of it stuck to the actual container. So our whole egg yolk in. Okay? Now we're going to break that, we're going to mash that, and we're going to continue our paste. Now, when you are pasting, the motion that you're going to be making once you start adding the oil is a small circular motion. What this does is lift the solids in order to trap air underneath, which is what's going to make the emulsification. Now, emulsification is the combining of two singular elements of different products that normally wouldn't incorporate. But they will stay incorporated because we have emulsifying agents. And in this, our emulsifying agents are garlic, the mustard, and the egg yolk. So we have a lot of emulsifying agents. Okay? So we have that all mixed. We're we're going to add in I like to start with about half of my lemon juice and half of my vinegar, because during the process of adding your oil, if your mixture starts to get too thick, you like to balance it out and thin it back out. Otherwise, it's too pasty, it starts to kind of look like mayonnaise. Okay, so we have our starting mixture, and now we're going to start to feed in our first of our oils. Okay, so we have our olive or salad oil blend. Now we get that small circular motion that we're making. Now in the beginning, you want to start with your oil very slowly, so that it will incorporate, start to emulsify. Once you get the emulsification process started, you can add your oil a little bit faster. Now you can see as the oil starts to get in, you start to get some viscosity, you start to get some thickness. Okay? And the great thing about this is that it was designed so that the actual lettuce, when it's rolled and not tossed into the salad dressing, that it would actually grab as much dressing as it wants to hold on to, instead of you pouring it and smothering it in your actual dressing. Okay, so you're getting a lot of nice thickness to it now, good viscosity, good richness to it. And what we're looking for is that smoothness with that balance. You don't want it to be kind of too muddy, and you still have a little bit of vinegar, and you still have a little bit of lemon juice that you can balance it out with. So after we're done adding this oil, we're going to thin it just a little bit. Okay, so we got all 6 ounces of that in. See how nice and thick we have now? Okay, so we're going to thin it just a tad, a little bit more lemon juice, a little bit more vinegar. Okay. All right, now a little bit of good extra virgin olive oil to finish. Okay, this is going to add a little bit of complexity, a little bit more flavor. So don't necessarily need salt. If you are a saltaholic, you can add salt to it, but your anchovies have a lot of salt with them. All right, so you can add your olive oil a little bit faster than you add your canola or your vegetable oil, because you've already had the emulsification process started. So now it has the ability to actually hold more oil. Okay, and we are almost there. Okay, so we've got all of our oil in. You have Caesar dressing, nice, rich, thick. Okay, so what they would traditionally do after this now is they would take the dressing and they would use their fork and they would coat the bowl. Okay, so we're going to take it and we're going to roll it around the sides of the bowl. Okay, coating the bowl pretty much all the way up to the rim. And then they're going to take the extra dressing and they're going to put that into something for the customer to have extra dressing on the side if they would like. All right? So we have your extra dressing here, rich and thick. Now, they're going to take the salad greens, the romaine here, as such. And we're going to come down from the outside and we're just going to roll over, okay, your romaine lettuce. You're not going to be chopping and tossing it. You're going to take each piece of lettuce and you're just going to kind of roll it over, and whatever the lettuce wants to grab from the sides of the bowl, it will. All right. We have our plate here. They would take each of your pieces of your lettuce and they would take them individually, and they would organize them neatly onto your plate. Take a couple of your crostini that they're going to garnish with. They would finish a little bit of cracked pepper, fresh cracked pepper right on the top. Right? And then they're going to finish with your hard cheese, which in our case is our provolone picante. And they do a really good amount of cheese. The sharpness of the cheese with the dressing really kind of stands out. All right.